I have a confession. I've never seen any of the John Wick movies. And the reason for that was just I was too young when they came out. Rated R action movies. Didn't see them till now. And I bought them last year during Black Friday on 4K. It was like $8 each for all of them. So like $25 for 3 movies. Great deal. Couldn't pass it up all on 4K. And I've been meaning to watch them because the thing about John Wick is it is incredibly referenced. It's compared, so other movies are compared to John Wick all the gosh dang time. Keanu Reeves is brought up all the time because he's in The Matrix and this, and mostly because John Wick is, his most current thing. And so this is kind of like a movie that I had to watch just to understand what the deal was with this movie. And I like this movie. I don't really get the fuss so much. It's a good action movie. It has a good... Actually, dare I say, it's a great action movie. Not one of the greatest ever made, like some people act like. I think everybody's comparing these movies, to other action movies and that come out now. And I would say, compared to most action movies that come out nowadays, John Wick is one of the greatest that's come out in recent times, for sure. I watch a lot of action movies, and a lot of them are bad because either they rely too much on CG or they're not practical. Well, this movie is very practical. You can tell that the people who did the stunt work for these movies really understand how to make action look real and authentic, and people do their own stunts and things like that. It's great. And Keanu Reeves is pretty good as John Wick. I don't think he's great. I think that's the thing. Keanu Reeves has never been a great actor. Even in The Matrix, he was never a great actor. Like this review on the front, his best film since The Matrix. Yeah, what has he done great since The Matrix? You know what I mean? Like, Keanu Reeves isn't that great of an actor. And he's fun to watch, and he works for the type of movie this is, This is a little pet peeve of mine. When I see reviews of saying an actor is great in a movie, and then you watch the movie, and to me it's like, I think they misunderstand. They're not giving a great performance. They're giving a great performance for what the movie required, right? I think everybody in the Avengers cast are not good actors overall in for example, Mark Ruffalo. He's a decent actor. He gives better performances in other movies. A lot of that cast does. Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, all those people, they give better performances in other movies, right? But when you look at the Avengers movies, they don't give that great of performances compared to what they do in other movies. That's because the movie that they're in doesn't require that. They give a good performance in that movie for what the movie requires. There's a difference between a great performance and then a great performance for what the movie requires. Because I could watch William Dafoe in The Lighthouse, and I could say that's a great performance. Doesn't matter what movie he's in, that's a great performance, right? I could watch John Wick in this movie. Not John Wick. I keep saying John Wick. Keanu Reeves. Gosh, I cannot speak today. In this movie, and I can say, yeah, he's pretty good for what this movie requires. That's the difference. If he was in a different movie, it may not work out so well, but this exact movie, this exact character, it works well. And that's what I really appreciate about this movie. I can see why it's so widely referenced, because it is an easy, digestible action movie, but I don't think it's that great. Like, I think the action itself is great, the story works good, and it's fine, but I don't think it's one of the greatest action movies ever made. I think the Lethal Weapon movies are by far better movies. There's better action movies and better movies within their genre. This is just a pretty good one. It's not one of the best. It's not one of the greatest. It's not really reinventing how I think about action movies, but I think it is a decent, pretty good action movie that, if you like action movies, you should definitely watch it. It's good. It's not bad. It's just I just don't understand the hubbub I've heard so much about this movie, right? Because I do like that this movie. This is one of those movies that you can see why it's a franchise. Just watching this first movie, not in the sense of like it's shoving all these things in your face, going, "Look, we're setting up sequels." No, it just has a really cool criminal underworld world that it's set up in this movie that could either just be this one standalone movie, or it could be a bunch of other interesting movies. You can see why they're making a John Wick 4, John Wick spin-offs, all that stuff. You know, you can see why that's in existence, why that's happening, and that's pretty cool. And I'm excited to watch John Wick 2 next Sunday. I'm going to review every single John Wick movie, basically because, you know, I wanted to see these movies, number one, and number two, I want to have reviewed all these movies by the time John Wick 4 comes out, whenever that comes out. But yeah, that's my thoughts on John Wick 4. I think this is a pretty interesting film to discuss, and I was happy that I finally sat down to finally watch it. Did I love it? Not really, but I liked enough of it.